So when you think about building a strong social network with a variety of relationships, let's start with who can bring these relationships to you, these healthy connections to you.
So the classic model of friendship building and social network building for much of, for many people is you come out of college with kind of your convoy of people, and then you move with that same convoy throughout your entire life. Throughout that time, of course, people move away. You lose them to illness, to poor health. You get into conflicts and your relationships break down. Well, over time, people really start to invest only on their most rewarding, meaningful, and culturally accepted relationships, which are your spouse, your parents, your siblings, and your children. And so that leaves us in a state of really large vulnerability when we get older, when we start losing some of those relationships. And that's why you have such high rates of loneliness among seniors, is because we weren't good at actually teaching people to build a strong and resilient social network that will get them all the way through their life. And so part of that is accepting that, yes, I'm going to lose relationships to changes in my occupation or career or moving across the country or lots of different factors that may drive that. And so we need to remind people that to keep your network fresh, you need to be always contacting with somebody. And so an acquaintance or a stranger or a friend at work, they might not be your close, most rewarding relationships now, but they could be, right? They could be the source of that next person. And so if you think of your social network as a series of kind of concentric circles, you might have 3 to 5 really close people that you call your best friends, your family members, your spouse. And then out from that, maybe you have 15 people who are people who care about you and are really interested. And then you've got maybe 150 people in your network overall, right? So the goal is to make sure to be pulling in from those outer rings into your inner rings, so that when you do experience changes like divorce or retirement or other, radical shaking to your network, that it's not the end for you, that you're still able to maintain a strong, resilient social network. And so that means, always keeping all those rings filled. And so not every person that you're going to connect to are you going to have a really strong daily social contact with. And that's okay. We shouldn't feel bad that people have different relationships with us, but we need to make sure that we keep our social networks sufficiently diverse and that we don't just rely on one person for all of our social and emotional needs, that we rely on a few people, because you never know what's going to happen to that person or to your relationship with that person. And so building a strong social network is really just that. It's thinking ahead, not just to how I feel in my relationships now, but what type of person am I and how am I building that broader social network that I have.